Okay, so I'm going to request a moment of silence for James Datola, who attended schools in the North Syracuse Central School District. Peter Wilkins Cooley, a 1977 graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District. And Santa Ferrara, a retired employee of the North Syracuse Central School District. As we move into presentations, the first presentation is a proclamation for Teacher Aide Appreciation Day. Throughout history, teacher aides have made an impact on the district's students and community. They work for the well-being, welfare, and future of our children. This awesome responsibility is accepted with commitment, dedication, and even love. Because of the complexity and diversity of their role, they must be flexible, resourceful, positive, and patient. The teacher aides of the North Syracuse Central School District are professionals of the highest caliber who have dedicated themselves to the ideals of their profession. Students, parents, and members recognize and applaud and appreciate their efforts to ensure the students receive a quality education. To honor the teacher aides of North Syracuse Central School District and their accomplishments and efforts on behalf of our community's most valuable resource, our children, I, Pat Swoboda, President of the Board of Education of the North Syracuse Central School District, on behalf of the board, express our deepest gratitude and hereby declare May 17th, 2016 Teacher Aide Appreciation Day to be celebrated with the appropriate educational activity. Mr. Marizio, second. Ms. Scanlon, all in favor of that? That's unanimous. I see Ms. Sinclair is here, and you have Our second presentation is from the canteen. Presenting on behalf of the canteen. Do they have a microphone down there?
Hello, hello? Yes, perfect. Okay, which way would you like us to face? This way, that way?
Whatever you're more comfortable doing.
Okay, I'm going to swing back and forth, whatever. Okay, so we're going to play a little slideshow here while I'm talking, and it's mostly just photos, but at least it gives you a little visual while I'm going through my presentation. And with me, who is, Jimmy O'Reilly, who is a graduating senior this year. All right. Here's our little clicky thing. Nope, that's not it. This one? Here. Perfect, thank you. There we go. Good evening, everyone. I know that Jimmy and I came in a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, to give you a quick update, but I realized as I was looking up and down the lane that there's a lot of unfamiliar faces, so I thought this would be a good time to come in and give you an update and give you a little background of the canteen for those that are not familiar. We've been in your community since 1999, and the reality of this is that we really are all about relationships. We have a fantastic relationship with the North Syracuse Central School District, and we have from the very beginning. When back in the late 80s, early 90s, even into the middle 90s, we were having some issues with some kids that were finding that they weren't really connected to anything. We had a suicide and an overdose and some kids making some really scary decisions. So the kids decided to come to the community members at large and say, we need something to do out here in the suburbs. And so some of our founding fathers, Bill Brown, Bill Bradley, Doc Morton. Doc Morton was a big mover and shaker back then. Joe Schnell, Warren Darby, to name a few, came to the supervisor at the town of Cicero, and the school superintendent at the time was Dr. Melvin, and they sat down with the kids and came up with a game plan. In the very beginning, the first 3 years, the program, the Northeast Youth Initiative, was under the American Red Cross. Then September 11th hit, and all things changed, and the grant that we had to stay in place kind of lived its life. The Red Cross moved on to other things, and the town of Cicero stepped up as the lead agency. I have with me Jody Rogers, the Director of Parks and Recreation, and she's the one who stepped to the forefront to say, I will take this program. And so we've been under Jody's supervision since 2002. With that, within a short period of time of starting the program, we took the 4 municipalities that we represent and we started our youth bureau. So now Jody runs the Cicero Parks and Recreation Youth Bureau. And every month the youth board that is comprised of all those municipalities and a bunch of other contacts throughout the community meet and oversee our program and some other youth program initiatives in our community. The center itself has hopped around our community, starting at the vacant Marketplace Mall where Price Chopper sat and the vacant Pen Can Mall. We were on the backside of Price Chopper in the old Dexter shoe store, for those of you that have been around a while. That's where we started. And Mr. Swoboda, he was one of our original canteen kids coming in and helping us with that program. So he may still be 22, but he's a lot older than that. He was one of our original kids, and I'm so proud looking at him and seeing him as a dad and an active member of this community, all that you give to our community. It makes me happy to see that you're still with us and part of this community as the soul of this community. From there, we hopped around a lot, to say the least. And Jody and I were in constant search of our next location. Then we were blessed in 2013-ish, right? No, yeah, 2011-ish. Assemblyman Sturpey approached us about some funds that he had left, and the rest is history. We had our own community makeover, extreme makeover project, and the canteen where it sits right now is our permanent home. We see an average of, right now we see an average of between 30 and 50 teenagers every day after school. Last fall, we peaked at 80 a day. It can be a very busy place. It's not just a place to come and hang. It's a place for you to build relationships. It's a place for you to be involved in as many services, supports, and opportunities as you choose. And as you can tell by the photos, there's all different kinds of kids that come to the canteen. We are well aware that the rumors out there that it's only for a certain type of child, or that there's only certain things that are going on there. And the reality of it is every day it's a different experience, and every day different groups of kids come. Especially being next door to CNS High School, we see all different kids coming in at all different times, whether it's after school, in between play practice or a musical, or they're waiting for their coach, or they're just coming from BOCES, or we have waves and waves of kids that come at different times. So it's a combination of all different kinds of kids. In the summertime, we are not open for drop-in. In the summertime, we travel. So we started our traveling season this past weekend. A group of kids and I and one of my staff went up to Darien Lake, and we were camping for the weekend. Now, mind you, it was very chilly and windy up there. They took pity on us and put us in the hotel on the second night because it was so cold. It was snowing up there, and it was a little crazy. But the kids had a great time, and it was a wonderful trip. From there, we head to the Jersey Shore right after graduation. The Monday after graduation, we head down to Wildwood Crest, New Jersey, and we're there for 4 days. And then we go to places like Cedar Point, Hershey Park, Darien Lake for the day, Seabreeze, Enchanted Forest, the New York State Fair, all places decided by the kids. And that leads me to the idea that we are a youth-led program. All of the activities, all of the prevention ed, all of the other things that are happening at the canteen are because kids have decided that this is things that they're interested in. So we have a partnership with Contact Community Services right now. They have a staff person dedicated to us in the afternoons. They bring prevention pieces to us, including having a partnership with a student assistant counselor at CNS, and she comes over and does prevention ed series. It's called Fun Time with Miss Allington. We feed them pizza, and they come over and learn some prevention ed stuff. And with that comes all this whole realm of material that we wouldn't have been able to have if it wasn't for that partnership with Contact Community Services. So as a whole, it's not just a place to come and hang out with your friends. As a whole, there's all different kinds of things and pieces that given day at the canteen. We would love for any one of you to swing by and say hi and take a tour. Jimmy would be more than happy to give you guys a tour of the program and the inside of the building, and you can ask the kids questions about their program. Jimmy wrote us a little piece last fall as part of one of the open mic nights we hold. And it says everything I could possibly want to say about the program in his words, especially as a graduating senior. I think it's really kind of neat to hear his perspective of the things that he's participated in since he's been coming to the canteen. So let's take it away, Jimmy.
Okay. I started coming to the canteen 5 years ago when I was in 8th grade. There are so many things to do at the canteen, such as play pool, ping pong, board games, Jenga, play the Wii, cook, watch movies, and hang out outside. Play basketball, frisbee, football, and catch. The canteen has volunteer opportunities. For example, they have spaghetti dinners twice a year, usually in November and March. The Gus Knocker basketball tournament held in the summer, usually in August. The fall and spring family festivals, Halloween parties, Easter egg, and bunny breakfast held around Easter time. The canteen has a lock-in once a year, and we stay up all night and do activities. The canteen also goes on field trips, usually during the summer. We go to New Jersey, Water Safari, Seabreeze, Darien Lake, and the fair. In this past summer, we went to 2 new places, Hershey Park and Niagara Falls. The canteen only goes on a few field trips during the school year, such as Lights on the Lake twice, Walk Through in November, and Drive Through in December. Darien Lake camping in May, and Camp Palace in October, usually around Columbus weekend. And the field trips are very fun. The canteen also has 2 wonderful events, such as the annual Thanksgiving dinner and the Star Dinner. The Star Dinner is when you invite an adult you trust. The canteen has 3 wonderful staff members. Their names are Tony, Rachel, and Joe, and they're really nice and helpful. The canteen also has 2 wonderful volunteers, and their names are Bree Eccles and Don Bickle. Everyone in the canteen is awesome. The canteen is a wonderful place to be at.
Thanks, Jim. Good job. Good job, bud. So that is a snapshot of the teen center that you have in your community. And I'd be remiss if I did not say that we are one of the few in New York State. There's only one other drop-in teen program in Onondaga County outside of the city, and that's the Town Shop in Camillus. As you all know, this financial storm we've been through has really wiped out a lot of youth services. and prevention monies. And so the fact that as a community we are still hanging in there and still able to provide this kind of programming is a testament to the support that we receive in this community for young people. So I applaud all of you, and I thank you for all that you do for the kids of this community. Does anybody have any questions for us? Jimmy and I would be more than happy to answer any questions.
I don't think so. But, Tony, I think we need to thank you, too, for your service, to our district, to our community. One of the things that you used to say when you sat at this table often that, we think about, and I know behind closed doors has been mentioned several times, is that there is no such thing as a small group of at-risk students. All students are at risk.
Absolutely.
So, I thank you for what you do for our students.
Thanks. And, I'm not being glib when I say I would really like to have some of you swing in and say hi and come and see the place, because it really is, it's your teen center. It's part of this community. It's not mine. It's not Jody's. It's your teen center as a community. So please, stop in and see and take a peek. It'll take less than 5 minutes to walk through the whole building. So, if you find yourself up at the northern end of the district and you'd really like to stop in any time. The only time I would suggest that you hold back would be at 2 o'clock when the high school lets out, because it's a little bit of a zoo up there. But other than that, anytime, stop in. We're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday till 7, and Tuesday and Thursday till 8. So, even after dinner, you want to get an ice cream across the street, come on across the street and see us and stop in and say hi. We'd love to see you. So thanks for the time. We really do appreciate it. And thank you again for all you do for us. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, tonight we do not have any comments from the audience. Do we have any board committee reports? We have several policies, I see.
Yeah. Is this on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting down to the wire. We met last week on Monday, May 9th, the policy committee, and we reviewed 8 policies, and 7 of those policies are on tonight's agenda. 2 we recommended for readoption without change, and 5 have been amended and recommended for readoption. 1 we had to table until our next meeting. And our next meeting will be June 13th, the last one of the year. And we're staying on top of all the policies that have to be reviewed this year. So, we're feeling like everyone's done a really great job, and we're getting ready for the summer.
Thank you.
Thank you. And one thing, too, I want to just remind everyone about the grand opening at BOCES main campus is Thursday, May 19th. I don't know if you had that on your agenda.
Yes, actually it's circled here. So the BOCES dedication of the new building this Thursday. It's around 5 o'clock, I believe.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. It's 4 to 5. It's it used to be Nationwide building, correct? Yeah, the old Nationwide building over off of 7th North Street in Liverpool. Okay, so a few things that I wanted to mention was vote tomorrow. I received my phone call this afternoon from Superintendent Speech. Thank you for reminding me of the vote tomorrow. Anybody who lives south of 481 would vote over here at the district offices. North of 481 would be voting at Cicero Elementary. I also wanted to, just kind of point out that every year the talent show here at the junior high school is usually kind of a spectacular event. I don't want to use all of Donald Trump's words, but it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's all of those things, and it is a very professional-looking show. Also, as per usual, the Thursday after the vote is the Special Olympics, which is also, a great event that our district hosts. That is an event for school districts across our county, as well as some from Oswego County. That's just an event that's really kind of neat to to participate in. And then also next week, or actually this week, right? We're looking forward to the Visioning Subcommittee. Is that this week or next week? Next week. Monday. Okay, and then one last thing, I'm trying to push all these great things that we're doing, was this past weekend, I know Mary had an opportunity to go and visit. NSEA has a teacher leader. It's like a class that the district benefits from, and they had their presentations this past Saturday. I was able to go in the past. Unfortunately, I had a soccer tournament out in Saratoga, but it's usually quite an interesting thing to watch, some of these presentations. And, there's a lot to be excited about in our district, and I just wanted to remind people of that as we look at our budget vote for tomorrow. Annette?
Well, Patrick, you didn't leave much for me to talk about, but that's okay. I feel like
I'm sorry.
I feel like Mr. Crabtree's back.
Yes.
I do want to remind people about the vote, and I also want to thank Don and the rest of my cabinet for all of the budget presentations. We did many, many throughout the community. I also want to mention that we've kind of revived the golden passes for senior citizens, and we actually talked about them at the senior citizens community and handed out a few, but people may not be aware, we do have a Board of Education policy that allows people who are at least 60 years of age to have a golden pass, and that allows them to get into district events with the exception of sectional and state finals at no cost. So if you know of anybody who meets that criteria and would be interested in attending some of our events, they can just come into the district office or call and ask for one of those passes. Special Olympics, we're looking forward to that on Thursday. The weather looks promising, so that's encouraging. And you did mention the Vision Subcommittee, and I would just like to say a couple things about that. As an offshoot of our District Advisory Council, we've established a Vision Subcommittee. I think it's made up of about 19 people, made up of administration, teachers, board members, and parent representatives. And we are going to be taking a look at our mission statement and goals and talking about what we would like to enhance in terms of the vision. What do we think that our programming and opportunities for students should look like over the next few years, and how do we go about matching resources to that? And that information will also be taken to District Advisory Council to be fleshed out further. So more to come on that.
And believe it or not, I did forget one thing, the Evening of Excellence, which will be tomorrow night in this building as well. But since we have spoken about the vote, I want to point out Mr. Schuster and Ms. Scanlon are seeking re-election for their current spots on the board. Jackie Owens, who is here tonight, who was a previous sitting board member, is also seeking re-election, and there is also a fourth candidate for you to consider as well. So I just want to thank you guys for your service and hopefully your continued service. Thank you. So our routine action items, do we need any explanation of those, or can we take those as a group? We have a motion to take A, B, C, D, and E as a group. Mr. Harrington, Mr. Farfalia, all in favor? That's unanimous. The discussion action items A and B, do we need any explanation of those? The teacher lead evaluators as well as the principal lead evaluators? Yeah, if you don't mind.
I can just quickly mention that this is something that's part of the teacher and principal evaluation, the APPR process. And every year we have to go through specific training that's determined at the district level so that our evaluators are recalibrated, and it's necessary for the board to pass this resolution so that we meet state requirements that we are up to par with our plan.
And then, so do I have a motion to take A and B as a group? Ms. Scanlon, Mr. Maurizio, all in favor? That's unanimous. C, this discussion action item, is to approve independent athlete from ESM here in North Syracuse. Unfortunately, ESM was unable to offer the program that we are able to offer, so we can accept one of their students onto one of our teams to participate. So do I have a motion to accept that? Mr. Schuster, Ms. Scanlon, all in favor? That too is unanimous. So the exterior stairway renovation, Don, I imagine you have comments on that?
This is a pretty routine item where the Board of Education declares itself as the lead agency under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. We're simply replacing the stairs here. The board as lead agency, based on information provided by King & King, is basically stating publicly that there's no environmental issues of concern and that this is a type 2 action requiring no further review.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Mr. Harrington, Ms. Scanlon, all in favor? That's unanimous. The textbook approval. The recommended action is that the above books listed be approved for the 2016-17 year. Do I have a motion? Mr. Farfalia, Mr. Leone, all in favor? That's unanimous. F is pertaining to our budget vote. It's the custodian of voting machines. Do I have a motion? Mr. Harrington, Mr. Leone, all in favor? You're abstaining? Okay. And an abstention from Mr. Marizio, but all in favor otherwise. So G, H, I, J, K, and L are all policies. Do I have a motion to accept those policies? Ms. Scanlon and Mr. Leone, all in favor of that? That too is unanimous. The personnel reports, is there a need for an executive session for any of those reports? No? Okay, before we approve those, Cynthia Britcher is a school bus driver. She retires with 33 years of service. Christine Jackham is a teacher aide at Lakeshore Elementary. She's retiring with 11 years of service to the district. Thank you for your service, and I wish you well on your retirement. So do I have a motion to take A, B, and C in the personnel report as a group? A separate? Okay, so we're going to separate A, Ms. Scanlon, and Mr. Leone as a second. All in favor of that? That's unanimous with the exception of Mr. Marizio abstaining. Then B and C as a group. Mr. Marizio makes a motion. Ms. Scanlon seconds it. All in favor? That too is unanimous. So we move into, make a motion to move into executive session. Why is it not coming up here? It's not coming up. I don't have the motion to move into executive session. I can pull up my email. Okay. Do I have that motion? Okay.
Is that on?
Okay, so move into executive session for negotiations with the NSEA bargaining unit. 3 legal matters relative to potential litigation and personnel records of 4 individuals with action to follow on 1 employment matter. Do I have that motion? Mr. Marizio, Mr. Leone, all in favor? That's unanimous.
Big students can come up.
Yep. Participation in government students, do you want to meet them down there? Well, little, do you have a second? And anybody with a pen can sign for you. Yeah, I was going to say, probably just keep going, circle right through. Practice for graduation. What I would do, just so you have it, grab an agenda, just so,
All right.
You can also print it out online.
Yeah, I just couldn't find it. Okay.
There you go.
You signed that.
You know what? I'll sign the back. Over here.
You too.
How are you?